Now you're a junior, and this the time of the year where junior senior year is the most important years to get on the field and showcase your talents. You explained already that you learned so much from KJ Smith, Dante Smith. Now, what is your goal as a junior?
My goal as a junior was basically play. Like I need to get on the field, whether it was a situational basis, if it was a special teams, however it was for me to get on, I was willing to do. Now in that off season, from me being 154 pounds, my father ended up telling me was, "You're not playing next year if you don't get to 180." So working out with him, I put on about like 35 pounds worth of muscle, got the 185, just going up to the next year. So that's probably like a 6-7 month span. I picked up a lot of weight just to adapt to my position because KJ was so big, so much bigger than me. I knew you got to be able to flex your muscle around, tossing people out of the way. So I did that, and I'm just like, I'm gonna play this year. Most definitely gonna play this year. I had a senior in front of me, had a senior, a few juniors, a few people the same age. They play outside linebacker. I played middle, so I had a senior and a person who had started last year. So obviously, it's gonna be hard for you to get the person who started last year. End up coming down to me and Jason Allen getting a spot, which they gave to him. I won't say gave it to me. He actually earned his spot. I was rough summer for me. I wasn't as dedicated to it as I probably should have been, as far as like making every summer practice, going to run and everything like that.
Why not? Why?
I won't say I lost the love for it, but I had this thing, I guess you would say, a thing with the coach. It was a lot of stuff going on that year that probably should have, indicated something my senior that, like, I kind of don't want to be involved with it, but I was still going. Just, my friends and everything was there. Like, I still had love for football. It's just the people running football. I was kind of at my wits' end with it.
Give us a little insight on that, man.
Well, we got a Mark Hidalgo who, as a person, I guess he's an okay person. I wouldn't know because I don't know him outside of being a coach. But just the way he kind of ran things, even his system. He had a lot of family on his staff or whatnot, which you know how that goes. They usually gonna go with whatever he says. Nobody has an opinion too much. Now his style of defense was fine, but he brought in a defensive coordinator, and they would argue, so he would end up taking over defense and everything. That was Willie Frazier's senior year. I believe he went like 3-7 or 4-6 that year. I'm not for certain, but everybody who was on offense pretty much played defense. So you using all your offensive talent, put on defense, and everybody's tired. We always played good in the first half, but second half everybody's tired. But like prior to that, it's just I felt like I wasn't getting that many reps or enough reps to the point where it's like I'm competing for this job. So I won't say it was handed to JL. He played well that season. He led the team in tackles and led like all through sectionals. We got put out in the first round. So he actually earned his spot. I just felt like I didn't get enough reps. So as far as I tried to show out the best I could in practice, playing like a few JV games and everything. But yeah, I had kind of that little divide with him for a little bit. So if you kind of not on his good side, then you gonna get the tail end or something.
So you feel like he's blackballed?
I won't say blackball. I would say more victim of the situation.
You know what, man? And I'm gonna say this because I didn't have an opportunity to see. Actually, I saw Sam Daniels' them senior year team 04 play. So I missed your senior year. And I heard you was a great talent, great linebacker. But if you're a great linebacker, why is your coach not finding opportunities to put you somewhere on the field? Even if you're not playing linebacker, DN. Somewhere, right?
My senior, actually going into my senior year, he was playing linebacker, and Coach Joe McGill was, I would probably say, the best coach I ever had. He really taught me, as far as what I picked up from KJ and everything about tackling and all that. What he taught me was how to read offenses. So now, at this point, I'm a little bit bigger than who was the starter, which is Jeremy Kelly. He had a great year as well. He ended up having a pretty good career at Central. But I could read like offensive line a little bit better than he could and everything, and I could react to plays a little bit better. What happened was, what he told me is I was his guy. He was gonna ride with me through it all. and he just got what his position was, defensive coordinator, got overtaken by the head coach. We went from playing a 3-4 defense, which would have had me and Jimmy Kelly starting in the middle, to a 4-3. So I'm basically ruled out because I didn't play outside linebacker. He tried, like he was going to experiment with me moving to DN, which I'd have been open to. I didn't have an issue with it. That's when we found Kevin Alvarado, who went to Bowling Green. So, I mean, good for him. He was pretty good that year, and I believe Ruben Ramos played the other DN. I just kind of kept me off the field. After a while, I mean, I started on offense, but after a while with defense, I just gave up on it. Like, I just knew it wasn't going to happen. And I would say, like, the worst thing about it is that I found out I was getting recruited for defense. A few friends, Kyle Monroe, would go to the Michigan camp, went to Wisconsin camp, came back to school, letting me know that a Division I defensive coordinator was looking for me at these camps. So I didn't even believe him the first time. He had to get proof, and he brought one of his friends who was there with him to let me know this person was actually looking for you. So I took that like, hey, this could be my way out as far as defense. I go to Ball State, and I didn't get a chance. I didn't get a chance to showcase it. When I did get a chance to showcase it, it ended. We ended up blowing out the team, so I didn't really play in the fourth quarters. And after a while, it wasn't that he was upset with my play. He was upset with another player's play and took me back out of the middle linebacker. So, like I said, I won't say I was blackballed, and I don't really hold any hard feelings towards it. It was victim of circumstances.
Now you're a senior now, and you went through all that, and I'm gonna call it athletic drama as a junior. Now you're a senior. Now, is your focus still on football? Do you still want to play, or are you just playing because your best friends are playing the game at EC?
Well, see, I would say the transition from junior and senior, it was like that was the one time I would have to say I thought about not playing. I like seriously considered, but like all my friends was playing and everything, and I thought I had almost a guaranteed spot. Well, like I said, that was the year when he switched from a 3-4 to a 4-3. So, I was getting everything towards defense. The workout I got a little bit big and everything. I'm getting everything towards defense. And I was put at tight end, which I won't sit back and say I couldn't play. I had pretty good hands as far as I could catch the ball. But even on offense, I didn't get the ball. I had like one catch and I took it 27 yards. But that was really one time I got looked for. But I mean, overshadowed. We had like the greatest athlete probably to come through East Chicago Central, and Jamie Stewart. So can't argue with getting him the ball every time. But, it's fine to me. But victim of circumstances. All my friends were playing though, and I think it would have been bad if I had let them down. With not playing. Just it was a good time. It was one thing I would say I kind of regret, like looking back on, I regret playing football that year. But then I didn't, because I always had a good time with my friends. It's just a camaraderie type of thing. I had a chance. I actually probably could have transferred. My mom would have let me move to Indianapolis. I probably could have went to Ben Davis or something like that, which I won't say I had a guaranteed spot there because I hadn't talked to a coach, but I probably would have fared a little bit better. It's a bigger market, and Indianapolis is a bigger market for football than East Chicago is. Everything East Chicago is geared towards basketball. So, you live and you learn, but I would have to say my friends was most definitely the deciding factor in me playing my senior year.
What kind of feedback did you get from your family? I know you got a lot of cousins who very competitive, and they made their way, and they paid their legacy the best way they can. And you was brought up to be the next best thing, and then it kind of panned out that way. What kind of feedback did they give you?
My family, I come from a real good family. They weren't, everybody was competitive, and they basically understood, like, they knew it wasn't my fault, that I wasn't playing. Some of them been to the game. Even Dino, would just express, like, how bad he didn't like it at all. My cousin Anthony came to a game and was wondering why certain people were starting and everything. So, they were still supportive of me. They didn't down me for not being able to play or whatnot, because they just looking at the, I would guess say the game, they probably felt, as far as them coming through, since they probably felt the best people weren't on the field. So, I mean, that would be their opinion though. So,
Give us a few highlights of your senior year.
Few highlights. The games that I actually did get to start at linebacker, I remember one of our players ended up getting suspended, so they did just, push me in at outside linebacker. He ended up having 7 tackles, a sack, and a fumble recovery. And that was just probably like 3 quarters worth of play. Came out, took your pads up and everything. I would have to say my best game came against South Bend Riley, where I had 10 tackles and a sack. It was just a pretty good game, like a real feel-good game, I would say, and I only played 2.5 quarters. Sat out half of the third and all of the fourth just watching the JV play them and everything. So that was a good feeling. I'd probably say that was my best game.
Okay. Now, as far as recruiting, you see all your teammates getting all these offers, going here, going there, possibilities. How about Mike Smith?
Well, prior to the season, I was, like I said, Calvin Monroe told me the defensive coordinator from Ball State was looking for me and everything. So I I got a letter from him. It was on August 9th, letting me know that they were recruiting me. I just got the letter in the middle of September from my head coach. So that goes to show you, like, victim of circumstance. And a lot of people were. A lot of people who went to school and actually had certain coaches like this, they didn't go off who their coach was. They went off their own merit. As far as Dante Smith, to back-to-back time defensive player of the year, his stats spoke for themselves. Keon Jackson's stats spoke for themselves. Kyle Mitchell, James Braden, all of them, they went despite what they had. But they had all the stats that would get them into a school. Cal Monroe he was pretty well recruited. He was going to go, I believe, to a junior college out in California, and accepted a scholarship to Indiana State, which he played down there for 4 years and everything, and did pretty well for himself. But he did that again with his father paying for him to go to camps and everything, so he got his own name out there. It wasn't coaches packaging tapes and sending them off to people for him. He did that on his own merit. So a lot of things that happen with people. They went to school, they went on their own, them trying to do it, not putting it in other people's hands, which I would have to say that was my problem. I put it in someone else's hand and I didn't get anything for it.
Okay. So do you have any regrets not playing college football?
No, I don't really have any regrets. I was going to try like freshman and sophomore year, had some rough years as far as grades go. But you gotta maintain a certain GPA to try out. Once I got past that, I started focusing more on life. Just coming up, like I said, I put a real big emphasis on football and forgot the fact that I was smart. That I was smart enough to do something outside of football, which I think is I won't say just black athletes' problems. I won't say young people's problems. They negate the fact that you're actually a smart person and you put so much on sports that you won't concentrate on school. So just now, like, without football and everything, give you more time to concentrate on that, just becoming a better man, in life, a successful man instead of being a successful ball player. I just concentrated on that. I ended up being the first grandson in my family my grandmother decided to graduate, go to college and successfully graduate, so I get way more praise for that than I ever would have got for, just being a sports hero, because they all did that. It wouldn't have been anything new for me to, be really good in sports and everything, because they seen it all. Still to this day, my cousin Payne's regarded as the best running back to come through East Chicago Central. But a lot of my family is excited, first person to graduate college. So, just more emphasis on becoming a successful man in life, and got away from just being a successful player.